That was when the sand dogs came. At first we were mesmerised. The sandy hounds laid down upon the curb with such care and affection, each curve of unwagging tail and turn of unshaggy limb so perfectly sculpted as to suggest a genuine creature, perhaps sleeping, perhaps dead, with the sign proclaiming "Donations welcome." That was when the sand dogs came. Soon they began to appear on every corner, on every street or cobbled pavement, built up by their sculptors from a pile of formless dust into the familiar shape that could be imagined by the hearth or waiting upon the doorstep. That was when the sand dogs came. At first we had indeed donated. What spare change was in our pockets we threw down before the sandy hounds, though we were forced to admit that when the coins were before their snouts, we were left disappointed that the dogs themselves did not raise their marble eyes and tip a wink of thanks. That was when the sand dogs came. The talk had spread around the town. Have you seen those sandy dogs? I've seen them. On the main and high street both. Gone are those beggars that plead for change with nothing offered in return. It's a delight to see the faces of the children as they peer down at the piles of grain so brilliantly crafted that they reach out to stroke the sandy backs as though they were the real thing. That was when the sand dogs came. The town regular, who played a fiddle, approached the sand dog and kicked it to bits. "Who are you to take up this spot?" he demanded of its builder. "You need a license to perform here. I've got one, from 10 until midday. Yet I find you hence, building up your pathetic sculptures. Get gone, I say!" That was when the sand dogs came. The next day, the dog was still there. Yet no fiddle sang out from the corner at 11. Just the sculptor, working, unspeaking, patting and smoothing, summoning up his canine creation. Was it 3 or 4 we saw? 5? 6? Is that the same one as before, or another? Where do they come from, these dogs and their sculptors? Did anyone ask? I know there were 3 more. I saw them today. That was when the sand dogs came. Don't let your kids give money to the sand dogs. Not even a penny. Their sculptors speak in strange words. They aren't from around here. We saw one upon the quayside, of particular artistic flair, his dog so perfect that it looked ready to jump up and hump your leg. I gave my son a coin to put down. He came back and cried, "Come and see!" I went with him, up to the edge before the water, and saw that this particular sculptor had crafted along the belly of his main creation a string of 6 smaller piles. My boy looked up to me and declared, "See? She has puppies." That was when the sand dogs came. I heard about the fiddler. Aye, you heard it too. Strung himself up, they say. Not found for 3 days. Locked his door from the inside, gave one last shriek on that catgut instrument of his, and then tightened a noose around his own. They say there was sand beneath his dangling feet. That was when the sand dogs came. Where are they in the morning, and where do they go at night? Where do they come from? I saw one outside my house. I saw one up my lane. I saw one and then another, but I swear they were the same. I swear I hear them howling after dark. That was when the sand dogs came. There was another today. He was right on my doorstep, only when I checked again later he was gone. Only the sand dog remained. It's been there for 2 days now. I can't bring myself to brush it away or kick it down. I can't stand its eyes upon me. It's watching, always watching. My husband won't leave the house while it's there. He says it's a bad omen. My neighbour, 2 doors down, says hers has grown puppies. Overnight, she says. Just appeared out of nowhere. She wants to bring them inside and feed them milk, but is too afraid to touch them. She says she hears them mewling in the night. That was when the sand dogs came. The barking started 2 days ago. We've not seen one of the sculptors for over a week. Only the dogs remain. I sit on my porch all day and stare at mine, waiting for it to move, but it doesn't. How can it? It's just a pile of sand. But we all do the same. Every house has one now, some more than one. And more appear every day. but we don't know where from. We spend most days watching over our dogs. There's little else to do, though at night, when we turn our backs, the barking begins. I've heard people from streets away pleading for it to shut up. That was when the sand dogs came. The shouting and the barking make it difficult to hear other things. I'm sure I heard a car alarm going off, but that was nothing under the rest of the noise. I heard a scream, but we ignore screams now. When we simply cannot stay awake anymore, we leave our dogs. They're on our porches, in our halls, on our stairs, in our cupboards, on our shelves, under our floorboards, in our chimneys, in our drawers. When we wake up in the morning, we're thankful that it wasn't us who'd screamed in the night. That's when they get you. When you finally give up and close your eyes, that's when you find another empty house, nothing left, apart from a trail of sand, perhaps a trickle of blood. That was when the sand dogs came.